It is Pro Group Racing. It show us your tips. Daggy and Beaver with you to look towards the last Group 1 of the season. The Tatts Tiara from Eagle Farm and two full cards from Randwick and Caulfield. Two nice thick cards, actually, Beaver. Plenty of opportunity to hopefully make a bit of money. As you've been doing quite well lately, another nice return yesterday.
Yeah, some good results yesterday. Couple of, I think the Brizzy tips. I said put the first one all onto the next one, and you would have got the chockies there, and some good wins all around the country. So nice result. Let's hope it keeps rolling.
Absolutely. Nice work as always. But we get to Randwick tomorrow, where we should be on I'm saying a dead track, dead in the old, a good track. It's currently soft, not too much rain around, just the morning dew, I suspect. Rail in the 6 metre mark. Probably don't want to be too far from the pace again. Hoping don't have to be stuck to the rail, but I think on pace will be no disadvantage. We kick off over the 1400 metres with the highway. And how are you going to kick off? You got anything for us here?
Yeah, look, I'm not a massive fan of the highways, but number 13, Red Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be hard to beat.
Is this hang
Uh,
on, I'm just going to load my screen up. What colours is it wearing?
it's wearing yellow and black.
Okay, righto. Yeah, tell
If
me
that's a
more.
bit of a giveaway.
Yeah,
I think you know where I'm heading here.
I do know.
But it was pretty good first up at Tamworth. Just set off the pace. Was a well back favourite. Carried 60.5 kilos there. So gets a drop back here. Freshened up with a trial bit over a week ago, and wasn't really tested. I think it can run well from gate 14 up on the pace, and give us a good sight at juicy odds to start.
Nice. Surely Boot Scooter's due to win one of these. I haven't uh, spent a great deal of time on it. Surely Boot Scooter's going to finish close to the money, so that might be a nice way to start the day between those two. Race 2, though, is a benchmark 72 over the mile, where I was pretty keen here on the chances of Deficit, actually, who's the only, well, at the moment, with Caesar's Palace going no good, the only Saturday horse in the race. Should map quite well from gate 5. Not a big field, not a great deal of pace, to be honest. So I'm hoping can push up and be fairly close to that pace. And with a bit of luck, we should have been to finish alongside Niffler. I'm saying that form stacks up quite well into this. So plenty of ticks here. A lot of these are coming up in grade from either midweek or provincial stuff. And I think around the $3.70 mark. I think it's a nice bet. What were your thoughts here?
Yeah, look, I've gone for indifference here. I think it's a progressive type, third up here, so sets up nicely. It's won its first two. I thought it was pretty good at Newcastle last start. Really finished off quite hard over the top of them. Gets a couple of kilos off its back from that, and gate 8 suits. As long as it doesn't get too far out of the ground, that's fine. But this is a pretty small field, so I think you can sit just off the pace and prove hard to hold out.
Beauty. The 1100-meter midway is race number 3 for the benchmark 72 grade. As always, another nice deep field. Have you got anything here for us?
Yeah, look, this is a pretty open field here. I've gone for one at just around the double figure odds here in Pandora Blue.
Yep.
It's 1-4 from 12, which I think is a pretty good strike rate for this. It's been mixed form, this preparation, but goes well over this distance. All 4 wins have been over this distance. But only finished 3 lengths behind Siege last start at Randwick over the 1,000. And prior to that, went to Caulfield and ran a really nice run sitting on the pace. And then prior to that, led him up in the Group 2, won by Bella Nipotina. So I think its form's good enough so far this preparation in, and this is definitely a winnable race given what it's been racing against.
Yeah, I had a few looks at it myself and definitely worthwhile thinking about because I was playing away from it in a tricky race. I was playing 2 at big double figures. Big win from Rifles at Canterbury last start. Comes here off that, and I'm hoping we can run on. Map to just get that nice swooping run again. And Sam Clipperton is probably the go-to jockey on the card, to be honest. So, again, around 20 to 1, I'm happy to find out. And Moralist in the 30s was a similar thought for me. Trials are okay. It comes to a race that isn't full of superstars. And I was happy to play right outside the market there. Conrad obviously sort of fits here, but it's just a horse I've I don't think I'm just done with the spruik on it and avoiding it. And like I said, Pandora Blue would have been next in line and maps quite well here. Race 4, benchmark 72 over the 1,300 metres this time. A few of these again coming up from midweek stuff. What are you doing here?
Yeah, look, good little race here.
Yeah, it is.
With a few horses, the top 4 in the market all won last start, but I really like the win of
Kari.
Kari. My only concern is where it gets to in the run and gets maybe a little too far back and gives a big start to Huesca. But I think it's got some really good upside here. Flew home from an unsuitable track at Gosford over the 1,200 there and had a really big weight. So I think it's certainly one of the hardest to beat and a good bet on the program.
I've gone with Huesca just based on the map, as you suggested. Karen McAvoy going back from an inside gate, I'm thinking maybe all the way back at some point. So we need to wrap up what is an okay field because you got Pretty Wild to be in a similar spot and was a nice win. But so I'm just defaulting to Huesca, who's going to have a softish lead with rolling up there with Dehorned Unicorn on its back under Tim Clark. And stable going well. It was a nice resumption too and has plenty of upside. But all 3 of those, I think, are talented horses and can come here and run well. None would shock me. But just going with the leader based off the map for now. Race 5 over the 1,800 metres for the girls, a benchmark 78 is good race again. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm going to stick with the last start winner, Combella Fee. I went looking for, obviously, Niffler. I decided that the lead-up race was the right form, and then watching it back, I thought it had all honours winning that race. It peeled off Niffler's back and beat it. I think it gets exactly the same run here and can do the same under Reece Jones. So it was on top from me, and I'll probably have something again on Nothing Sweet About Me, just for giving it nothing. It just didn't travel last time. Once it sort of got a bit uncomfortable with that horse, went inside it. Went back and trialled since and won the trial, quite easily. Comes here and gets control, and you're getting about $10. So if you had a bet on it last time and didn't, obviously weren't really given a shot, I think it might be a chance to get some of that back. But they're the main 2 for me, just based off the current market. What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, another good little race. A lot of these horses meeting each other again here. I'm going for Flexible. I think it can get the right run here. The extra 200 metres, I think, certainly plays into its favour. It's got 58.5 on its back. So it's actually meeting a lot of these horses 3 or 4 kilos better than last start for around 3 lengths. I think as the distance get out, it's more suited to it than some of the others. And I think if the pace is on, and again, they can come down the middle of a track, Flexible can be the knockout horse.
Beautiful. Race 6 is the Stayers Cup on the card, benchmark 90 over 2,600. And generally coming off nearly 2 weeks between runs, not too bad. But point is, I had a feeling felt a bit longer than that. 2.5 weeks it will be by then. But Shameless Miss is where I'm headed. Lightly raced, off a nice win, going quite well. And the rest of these I have had an absolute gut full of. Was probably the only horse I set out to look for, and I found it. So on top for me, I think I think you probably get the $4 on the day, and as long as Tyler Schiller stays a distance with it, I think it is a fine bet here. Beaver, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I've gone for Alakan. I think this is a very winnable race for it. I know it's got to give some of these horses a fair bit of pull in the weights, but Shameless Miss and the likes are midweek runners. Alakan has been racing in listed, Group 3, Open, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 listed company this preparation. Gets back here to a benchmark 90 race, and it hadn't been disgraced in those runs. Like it ran 2 lengths behind Splendiferous in the Group 3 at Eagle Farm, 3rd in the listed last week, less beaten ahead, long neck. Look, it's got a little bit of class on these and should be winning this.
Yeah, nice. The 1,800 metre benchmark 88 kicks off the quaddie, another staying race here. few of your old favourites here. It's another Waller affair. Who have you found on top?
Yeah, really, really interesting market here, and a lot of horses in play with a good winning chance. I've just gone for Francesco Guardia, based off again. I think it's the fresh horse on the scene here. Only had the 2 runs, went up to Eagle Farm, was backed heavily there, and duly saluted. Comes back here now. Steps up here to the 1,800 metres from the 1,400. Waller just sets these up beautifully and places these horses beautifully. And for that reason, I've got it on top. With Born a King, obviously was outstanding last start, but got all the favours and got the right run up the fence. And that this race is a little bit harder than that, so it can run well. But you can find reasons why Solar Apex can win, and even Bethencourt improved last start and stuck on very well.
Yeah, absolutely. I found Born a King first, but like you said, well, first of all, quick backup for Waller. Glenn's riding all right at the moment. Glenn's riding all right. Comes here though, and will be back and wide. So based off the map again, when I did the form, I found Solar Apex. I was then completely disappointed that it's favourite. But they were the 2 I started with, and I think Flexible, if it comes here, fits this race quite well as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way it might go here actually, but I'd rather back it in this race than the other one. Just was opposing the Queensland form coming here a little bit, which is what I've taken for the remainder of the card. There's quite a bit of this Eagle Farm stuff coming back, but we'll go through that one. I'd run through the quaddie. The Listed Civic Stakes is 1,400 metre listed race, of course. Over the 14. Very tricky race, Beaver. Have you got a bet for us?
Yeah, I've stuck with Battleton. Thought its run last start was very good in the Group 3 up at Eagle Farm behind Kiss Sun, who absolutely brained him. They backed this horse, and it was coming off some good run in a Group 3 prior to that. Comes back to this field, which is a very winnable race. Look, I think again sets up nicely here. Gate 12 hopefully comes in a couple, gets the right run, and should be hard to beat. And hard to go past looks like Elvis, your old mate. Last run was outstanding. Sort of missed the kick, looked no chance, and then absolutely sprouted wings. It's a quality horse racing in pretty good company races, and if it's on song, it'll be hard to beat.
I end up putting it on top again. Just like I said, went against all the stuff coming back from Queensland. It was, like you said, missed the start, rounded him up, won well. Will again be back, probably back and last from gate 17, but Keegan Latham's fine in these situations, and you'll probably get double figures on the day for your trouble. So going to start there, and I'll have a spec on Tama here, the American horse, who I have no idea how that form lines up here, but around some American group racing. But I thought the trial was pretty good. Looks like a nice mover. It comes here and it's in the 20s. It'll just go in the quaddie in case it might be talented. Maria Mee, you can half forgive last time. Gets Clippo inside gate if the track's playing that way. But a tricky race for the quaddie there. Race 9, the 1,100 metres is next. Benchmark 78. Where I was keen on the resuming Conscript here. I thought trials were both good. It should roll across and get control of this. And there is a bit of this is another midweek race, to your point earlier, and this is midweek leading horse. It should roll forward, and I'm just going to take a chance. It's an improver. So around the nearly double figure mark, happy to be with it. Look, Mama Reagan's going quite well at the moment, but it hasn't won for 3 years, so not a horse I'm going to go and charge into to put the house on. A couple other chances that, again, I'll cover off when I get the quaddie. But did you have anything you liked here?
Look, not the most inspiring race for me. Pretty tricky affair, hence the market providing plenty of value. I've stuck with Irish Angel. Thought didn't have the best of luck last start and still stuck on okay. Less than 2 lengths behind Perina Away. Resuming, again, wasn't the best run, but didn't have a lot of luck in both of those runs. I think here it can sit a little bit closer from the 3 gate, just behind the pace, and can present at the right time and give us a sight.
We're finishing the day with another 78 over the 1,400 metres. How are you going to take us home?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Sinba. It was really good win. Tried well enough, and then come out and absolutely brained them in Doom and could have won by further. Bit of extra weight here, but I think this is a horse that might have a bit of ability and was racing in Group 1 level before it went out last prep. So come back here, looks better than ever, and sets up very nicely for this.
Yep, absolutely. Only danger, Jojo was a man who should probably be undefeated this prep. Nice win last time. They're the 2.5 if you want to throw for Valor in if the track's playing that way, but Sinba on top. And we'll do the quaddie for progretracing.com.au. Of course, check them out for their free tips, extensive guides, and much more going on there. Very tricky quaddie day. We'll kick off with 1 Bethencourt, 6 Francesco Guardi, 7 Born a King, 9 Solar Apex, 15 Flexible, should it be there. Second leg, 1 Tamahir, 3 Looks Like Elvis, 8 Oscar Zulu, 9 True Detective, 12 Maria Mia, and 16 La Gay Soleil, 17 Battleton. Third leg, 1 Mama Reagan, 6 Conscript, 8 Irish Angel, 12 Miss Dior, and come home with 4 Jojo Was a Man and 8 Sinba. For progretracing.com.au, your best and value at Randwick, Beaver.
Yeah, my best comes up in race 10, number 8, Sinba. I think it'll be hard to beat. And my value bet comes up in race 5, number 2, Flexible.
Yep, Sinba's one of only 2 hopes. Jojo's just tugged me away from declaring it the best. So I'm gonna go outside the box instead. I think one of those 2 will definitely win the last. But I'm going to go Conscript as my best of the day in race 9 and make my value Rifles in the Midway. We'll go out on a limb. Shoot for some glory here, having fallen so far behind the King in the North on his throne up there. We'll see if I can catch up. Before we get to Eagle Farm, though, we will get to Caulfield, where it is a soft track at the moment. A bit of rain tomorrow, clearing Saturday. With the rail in the rail in the true, it should play pretty much like Caulfield does, on pace early and hopefully by and large fair. Story of the day is there's a few lightly raced horses coming to town for the first time in some of these, which is very interesting to get your opinion on, Beaver. But we kick off with quite a few of them actually in the 1,200 metres to start the day. Interesting little field. What have you done?
Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? It's one of the probably most interesting races on the day with the top 3 in the market here. Unusual Culture, the New Zealander that's been racing in group company there and acquitting itself very well. Favourite, and I've got it on top. I think it can run well over in the Mar Houston stable and meet your board. I do have it slightly on top here. You've got She's All Class resuming. Again, in the Mar Houston stable, expect it to run well. Just not sure where it's at. Came back from group races in the 2-year-old events, and then it was turned out after one start, didn't run well, and then it's back here. So I'd expect it to probably be around the mark, but probably Chain of Lightning's one of the most interesting horses on the day, having won 2 from 2 at Inverell and then Armidale, and now in the Moody stable. So really got a keen eye on watching it because I suspect it might have a little bit of ability, but Unusual Culture on top for me.
Same. Trials are great coming over from the group stuff in New Zealand, and I had a big watch on Chain of Lightning. We've seen it with horses like In Good Health. Once the Ramsey colours have a bit of a suspicion they might have some talent, they get them straight to Peter Moody, it looks like now. So interested to watch that. And Swerving, they're talking up as a potential Guineas horse. So We'll see how she's come back as well. But good race. Like you said, one of the most interesting on the card. Race 2 is the 1,100 metres for the 2-year-olds, where I think they're going to have to be good to beat Gennady. It was a sensational debut. Sets up, no issues here, setting up from the gate where it can fall along the fence again. And I think it's going to be very hard to beat again. But She Danced was a nice debut at Sandown, showed a bit of pace. And even Panache coming down from Newcastle at a big price might be one for the exotics. But I think Gennady's going to be very hard to beat here, Beaver.
Yeah, can't add much more to that. I think you're right. Looks like it is packed with potential. Outstanding first up win. Obviously is going round a bend here, not down the straight, but it had high cruising speed, and gate 3 here looks like it is well drawn, and Snowden is a master with these types of horses.
Race 3 is an 1,100 metre benchmark, 84 for the girls. This race looks like a trap, so I think I'll probably stay out. They always tend to take turns in these sort of races. Did you like anything?
I wasn't overly keen on it. No, I didn't. I thought there was better betting races on the card than this. If I did have to have a bet, I'd go Duchess of Dorset. I thought it resumed quite well. Was well backed. I think it'll take a lot of improvement for that, and it might just sit behind the pace here. And if it gets the run at the right time, hard to beat.
Race for the 2,000 metres. I'm going to give. I'm not going to give it a chance. I'm going to back it. I think Daggy. If you look at last week, it's on the quick backup. Should it run here? If you look at last week, it copped a bump halfway up the straight and then sort of spat the dummy a little bit and sort of wobbled up the straight and didn't necessarily hit line as well as it has in the past. Also might just be looking for the further distance. So I think the quick backup shows intent. I think it's come through it okay. And straight to 2,000 metres, not messing around, I like. So at the potentially each way price at the moment, it looks like a bet for me. But there's some other chances here. I've had enough of Grand Slam, but we know it can win. And Acceleration was a lovely win last time. But I'm going to be chiming back in with Dagula. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Dagula was those two horses cleared out too last start. Chivala and Visionary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They cleared right out from the rest of the field there. So
wasn't around.
It wasn't, and drops back a few kilos here into probably a easier race. By the looks of it, but I've stuck with Acceleration. I tipped it last start and loved the way it won. Beat Born a King, who come out in frank platform in Sydney, so I think that's pretty good form. Obviously, that was at Flemington. It came from last there, so Caulfield's a little bit different affair, but out to the 2,000 here, and can run on and get a track into the race. Can be hard to beat.
Race 5 is the mile benchmark, 78. Keen on Chief Altney, going quite well this prep. Chased very well against Visionary, we just spoke about, who that form's been franked last week. And this sets up a couple of kilos off for those that are worrying about the weight, but it's only comes out 4 kilos over the limit here with the claim. 3.5. So not worried about any of that sort of stuff in this race. I think it turns up here in a very winnable race, and I might just have something on at a big price on another French horse, Blue Cup, who sort of bobs up here. I've seen its jump outs, and it looks to be a reasonable mover, and just might bob up at a price first up at a mile in a race with a little bit of a tail, I think. If Flexible comes down here, we've spoken about it in Sydney, coming down here might set up pretty well as well. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, certainly be having a look at Flexible if it comes down here, but I've got Chief Altney clearly on top here. I think it's a really nice bet in this race. Form this time in has been outstanding. Chased really hard and gave Visionary a start last start, and at one stage looked like it was going to go past it, but Visionary fought on quite well. and then prior to that, killed him at Sandown. I think a bit more fitness under its belt after that run over 1600 sets it up nicely here. Gate 5's perfect, and the 2 kilo claim is perfect as well.
Beauty. Quaddy kicks off with a 3-year-old over the 1,000 metres. One of the ones we sort of mentioned earlier. Inundations coming here off a synthetic and a packet win, starting short in town. Do you have an opinion of it, or have you gone elsewhere?
Oh, look, I think it's got a bit of ability, but I've gone elsewhere. I've gone for Squid Game.
Yeah.
It got right out the back last start at Flemington and flew home behind length and a half behind Passive Aggressive. We know how good a horse it is. So I think there'll be plenty of pace on here. I think Starry Legend and Inundation might go quite hard. Gate 5, I don't think Squid Game will get as far out of its ground as it did at Flemington, and it's got a really powerful finishing burst. And if you go back last preparation, it ran against a length behind Clemenceau, beat Ngawa. I think it's got a little bit of ability, this horse.
Second in that Squid Game, in that passive aggressive race, was obviously Dragonstone as well, who came out and brained them in Sydney. So I agree. I've got it on top. And then a claim to get it down close to 51 kilos. So it looks like it fits in quite nicely here. I had Cooled for second, who mapped inside, got a little bit lost up the straight last time. And interested to see Inundation. It might just be a nice horse as well, and we're underrating it. But at the prices as they stand at the moment, that's the way, we've both lined them up. Race 7 is a 1,200 metre benchmark, 84. Tricky race here. I've ended up with Blazer Trail on top, where it finished, had some nice fight in a bunched finish, which doesn't necessarily leave a great deal of confidence coming here, but I couldn't necessarily find anything to beat it. So I thought it was a nice resumption, and hopefully can continue with Jai McNeil sticking. Who have you found here?
Yeah, I've landed on the General. Really, it's an ultra consistent horse. And if I just flick through its form, last start it finished a couple of lengths behind Hickok. It carries 62.5 kilos. It's got 55 with a 3 kilo claim here, so it drops 10 kilos. That's a huge weight pull. It goes up and sits on pace. And then prior to that, led and was only just nutted on the line at Warrnambool by Ashford Street, carrying 58.5. So it gets a really nice weight pull here, carrying 52. I think it sets up nicely in this race. Gate 9 will come across. It'll probably take up the pace here, I would have thought, and might just be hard to run past.
Beauty. Race 8, 1,400 metres. I've just flicked over the market, and the market is all a bit mad to me here. 2 easy bets. I'm backing Jimmy the Bear again, who did win last time and beat, all his field. I can't understand why Cardinal Gem's $3 and it's 12. I know it had a bit of unluckiness, but it wasn't that unlucky. And I also don't understand why Aaron Bay, I know it was very brave, Aaron Bay is half the price as well. I think Aaron Bay will run very well and Caulfield will suit it. But at $12, happy to back Jimmy, and also happy to back Daytona Bay, who I figured would have been much tighter in the market. Comes here, Blake McDougall, 2 from 2, and fits well. I might even have something on Bold Hoi Ho again at the 20s too, I'm just forgiving a bit last time. But good betting race, for me at least. What have you made of it?
Yeah, I think it is a good betting race too. And I've gone for Philadelphia Storm. John McNeil aboard, Maroney. First up was good, and I'm taking a line through the passive aggressive race. I think it's a quality horse, and these horses have only a couple of lengths off it. So I'm hoping that form stacks up, and I think it can run well again here. You're going to get somewhere between the $8-10.
Absolutely. Oh, nice chance to back a couple at a price. We'll finish the day as the 1,400 metre 84. Where I mentioned last week, but I'm going to have BAMS on fire on top. It's $15. It was a nice resumption last month, I should say, up the straight. Round the bend suits. It spent some time over running around in the group stuff in Perth. I think it's come back in okay order. Josh Richards is fine for it, and in essentially a midweek race, I'm happy to have the bet at $15. So on top for me, and That's all I really want to say. Who have you found here?
Yeah, I narrowed it down to two. I'm going to stick with the import on top here. He's our Bonneville. Just thought this was a pretty open affair here. It's got some decent form in GB in and around this distance. It's in a good stable. I like the Bussittin-Young stable and knew it can pull the right reins here. So I think it's got enough upside here to win this. And the resuming Mayfair Spirit, I think it's another knockout chance. It's got really good winning strike rate and it's got some Sydney form. So I'm expecting it can run well first up here over the 1400. So I'll probably play both of those two in the last.
Lovely. Do you want to give us the Caulfield quaddie for Saturday?
The Caulfield quaddie for Saturday. I can do that for you, Daggy. I'm going to go number two Cooled in the first leg, number 4 Squid Game, and number 7 Inundation. In the third leg, I'm going to go number 1 Curran, number 3 Blazer Trail, number 5 Zoltan, and number 11 The General. In the third leg, I'm going to go number 1 Jimmy the Bear, number 4 Daytona Bay, number 3 Arran Bay, and number 5 Philadelphia Storm. And to finish the day, I'm going to go number 1 Bams on Fire, number 8 Sir Positano, number 9 Mayfair Spirit, and number 11 He's Our Bonneville.
Very good. For progretracing.com.au, I'm going to make Gennady my best of the day in the 2-year-old race, and I'll make my value the last, Bams on Fire, around the $15 mark. What have you done?
Yeah, I'm going to go my best bet of the day, race 5, number 1 Chief Altony, and my value bet of the day is going to be race 7, number 11, The General.
Lovely. We've got the Group 1 at Tatts Tiara to wrap up the winter racing carnival at Eagle Farm. Have you had a look at this for the girls?
Mate, I've had a look at the races at Eagle Farm, so I'll just sort of start at the top.
Go through the whole card. Okay, no worries.
No, I'm just going to rip through the ones I like.
Yeah.
I think race 2, number 10, Uncommon James, resuming here, will win. Load up. I think race 3, number 1, Our Intrigue, gets a chance to break through. Should have probably good enough run to win last start. Backing up here should win. If I then skip forward to my value bet on the day, race 7, number 13, Resistible, about the $10 mark. I think it can be hard to beat. It's 1-1 from 1. And then the Tatts Tiara. I'm sticking with Anavisto resuming here, about the $5 mark. Flies well. First up, 1-3 out of its 4 and placed in the other, ran second. Everything here sets up. It'll jump, it'll run. And I think everything is pointing for it to be super hard to beat. Its form last preparation was outstanding in the group races in Sydney. And I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Snap Dance is drawn in 21. I think that sets a big task there. Away Game is also drawn off the track. That makes it really tough here. So I think the fact is that Anavisto is drawn well enough that puts it on top here against some of its main dangers.
Yeah, I love Snap Dancer here. I think it'll win. Pretty keen. It can roll, jump straight across. It'll find a spot there. Ethan Brown rode it fantastically at Morpheville. I think that's the right form. Yeah. Another jockey on Anavisto might have been keener. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that was my bit I was nervous about. Yeah, but I thought if from gate 11, if we just kick it out
see some intent, yeah, she'd need to show some intent here, because
it doesn't look to be a lot of pace in it.
There's not a great deal of speed, really, is there?
No, and that's what I thought. Anavisto, Snap Dance is going to have to come across and
might
probably
be stuck outside lead. Shout the Bar might be buried back behind. It's not. Yeah, Shout the Bar. Yeah, has a job to do to bury through under there. So, yeah, I think they probably set up 1, 2, 3, and should give you a nice side actually. So no, good call.
Yep.
Anything to finish the
And,
day?
and to finish the day, the resuming King of Sparta. I think he can run well fresh. I like this horse. I think it's can probably be super hard to beat.
Lovely. You are on fire from your throne there. The King in the North, burning up Queensland. I don't think you've had I can't remember the last time you had a losing weekend up there, actually, to be honest.
No,
at all. That's not even me being full of crap. That's actually it's genuine.
It's just the way it is, mate. It's just the way it is.
What can I say? What can I say? I do love your work, King, so keep it up. Good punting this weekend. Good punting to the punters. You got a tip for Origin?
Oh, mate, it's 50-50. It's probably the Blues. I think, I'm pretty sure the league would want to see it go to a third game. So on the back of that, maybe the Blues might get a little bit of the edge and hopefully get up.
I thought Queensland would win game 2. So now they've won game 1. And now New South Wales have actually picked the right team. I was talked out of Queensland last week, and I've been talked into New South Wales this week. So I'll be wrong on both accounts, I'm sure. So we'll see how that goes. Good luck. Well, good luck to both teams, I suppose. Good luck to punters. Good punting. We'll see you all Tuesday night to talk midweek racing. Until then, take care, guys, and we'll catch you soon.